All right, guys. A year of content creation, a year of reflection on content creation. As many of you know, I literally just started doing content creation about a year ago, actually. Yeah, I technically started on Odyssey or Library in July, and on YouTube, I officially started in August, the beginning of August. And it's kind of crazy to think that it's pretty much been like a year of content creation. When I first started doing crypto-related content stuff, uh, I was still working at my marketing job, and obviously that was like in the midst of COVID, right? So it was kind of like right in the beginning of all this craziness. Actually, right in the middle of it, right in the middle. And it's funny, man. I remember like having a whole bunch of time, like in between work, and of course going home and just doing the research and scripting and all that. Granted, back then my videos were mainly just me walking around in the forest like I am right now, just talking about whatever I wanted to talk about, for the most part. I did have some explainers in there, especially as I went along, but it was mainly just me kind of walking around and talking about whatever I wanted to talk about. But it's kind of crazy, man. Obviously, time went on. I think nearing the ending of last year, a whole bunch of stuff happened, both in my life and at work, that made me want to say, yo, listen, man, life is short, and I can't be doing shit that I don't really want to do, you know? Which brings me here today, about what? Jeez, like months later, a year later, and now I'm kind of just pretty much doing what I want to do, essentially. I will say, obviously, that, we're still growing out here. By the way, sorry for the overexposure. We're still growing out here, but I think that's the main thing when it comes to like content creation and just kind of doing what you want to do, is that realizing that you're never really done with anything, you know? Like I got to about 5K subs now on YouTube, so over 6K on Odyssey. I've met so many dope people, both in person and online. Different content creators too, fucking dope people. And I realized that, like, yeah, man, it's just it's hard to let go of a good opportunity when you see it. And that's one thing I'm actually having trouble with actually right now. Kind of trouble, not really. Like when I first started doing this stuff, full time I should say, so after December, I went ahead and told myself, all right, I gotta start stripping myself of responsibility. Anything that doesn't have anything to do with crypto or YouTube or I guess content creation, I want to have nothing to do with it, essentially. This is because I did have some previous obligations that I just didn't want to have to think about. Like, to me, even if I'm not doing much, let's say for a certain project or team or whatever it is, not crypto related, I can't be in it because I'm going to think about it, and that takes up my thinking space, and all of a sudden I can't do anything. That's less time for me to work on other things. So I had to get rid of everything in my life, essentially, that had nothing to do with crypto and content creation, which I ended up actually doing at some point, and it felt really good, For once, I was able to just like kind of think clearly and be like, all right, all I'm doing is coming up with an idea for the next video. That's it. That was a couple months ago. Fast forward to today, and I would say that was about like the beginning of this year, actually. January, February. But now, man, completely different. I've been picking up responsibilities ever since then, and it's for a good reason. And I'm gonna tell you why right now, once we pass this little log over here that went ahead and crashed in the middle of our path. Let me see. So, what ended up happening? Well, essentially, that was nice. I started up picking up more responsibilities, such as, well, and let me tell you why. Obviously, me quitting my job meant that I had no money. No money in the pockets. I did have money from actually my previous job, but you know me, I was buying the dip, and for the most part, I was running out of that stuff quick. And mind you, I should say that I do have bills to pay, bro. Like, obviously my credit card, but not even including that, I do have to pay student loans at some point. So, one point or another, I just started making money again. However, I did tell myself when I did quit my job, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna make sure that I have enough money for this year, at the very least, saved up in reserves, just in case everything goes to shit, and this year I can't make any money for whatever reason. I was giving myself the worst case scenario. And I'm glad I did, dude, because I ended up blowing through all that stuff, I think like about a month or two ago. So, and again, that was mainly because I was buying more crypto and stuff like that. So, it is what it is. So even up to this point, technically, like your boy's still, kind of, I want to say I'm hurting for money, but, it'd be nice to have some money so I can pay off the credit cards. Let's just say that. With that being said, as time went on, and I forgot when I got my first thing, but I started to think, all right, obviously YouTube content creation library, Odyssey is great, but it's not making me enough money to pay anything significant or to even like have any exposable income really. So that's when I decided, all right, I got to start doing some shit. And that's kind of when I started like, and I guess at this point I'd already heard of different projects, spoken with founders versus, spoken with technical people from other projects as well. I've spoken to a lot of people at that point, a couple months ago. And I didn't start reaching out per se, but like this entire time people have been emailing me about doing collabs, sponsorships and stuff like that. And I'd been hoping that one of them would be of quality, and a lot of them weren't. But one of them actually was, and it was a while ago. The name was DEXes, the guys who are making the total market cap coin. A lot of them are based in New York. So they pretty much just wanted me essentially, and I'm going to give you the abridged version of all this stuff because it's a long story for everything. They essentially wanted me to help them host their Twitter spaces. And for doing that, I'd get, a little bit of money broken off every month or so. And I was like, yo, this is great. This is a chance for me not only to meet people from different projects, because I'll be hosting the Twitter spaces and talking to them, but I'll also be getting, a little bit of shekels for it. So to me, I'm like, yo, this is dope. Let's do it, And I figure it wouldn't take up that much time out of the day. I've done one so far, and it's really good. But that's just one thing I started, right? Another thing, and this is probably going to be like the biggest one so far, is Arbitrum. Most of you guys probably don't know this, but I am like pretty much like community at Arbitrum, or arbitrator is what we call it. But anything related to the Discord, creative stuff, videos, anything like that, I'm kind of like helping them out with and all that stuff. And I've loved it so far. And the main thing here, and this is kind of where I things changed for me. This was last month, by the way, is that like I'm actually finally able to get paid for doing something in crypto, and this made it all worth it too at the end of the day, because it's like now I can make videos. You guys have seen, although there has been a little bit of a slowdown of videos, I'm actually able to make them and not really care too much about the analytics and all that stuff. I mean, I still do care about that stuff because I want people to see the videos, but at the same time, it's like I don't got to worry about it because it's like my income isn't directly proportional with how well my videos do now. More so, it's directly proportional with how well I do with Arbitrum. But I like it because it's like, dude, like, it's pretty much being creative, and that's what I like to be. That's what I like to do. So the team there is awesome. I'm happy I'm working with them. And that just adds to where I'm at today. That just adds to where I'm at today, where not only, I'm doing that, I'm doing a couple of other things as well. I'm hosting the Crypto Heads meetup, which is like the meetups I have in New York City. I'm helping out with Hudlin over there as well. And I'm actually also, shout out to my man Moxie, working on like a little brand over here. You can see it, there you go, a little blockhead right there. Announcement on that, it still has to be done. But the point is that I'm doing a lot of stuff now, and at times it seems like it's overwhelming, where it's like, yo, like I wanted to have less responsibility so I had more free time to do whatever I want. But the thing is that it's like, what is whatever I want? You know what I mean? What is free time? The thing is that like I'm as busy essentially as I want to be, more or less, even doing all this stuff. I pretty much capped what I'm doing at the stuff that I'm doing now, because I think it's a good balance. Like yesterday I was actually pretty busy because all of a sudden like a bunch of like, I wouldn't say a bunch, but I had a whole bunch of like, let's just say requests to do stuff yesterday. And, I got down to work and I just hammered it out in a couple hours. Today, kind of like the opposite. I kind of woke up a little early and did a couple things. But other than that, I'm out walking now and just chilling, And the rest of the day I should be actually chilling too. So I'm really as busy as I want to be, and I think I want to keep it this way. Where it's like, at times it'll be kind of like overwhelming, but thing is that I think you really need that as a human, as a human being. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, anything less than this is like too boring. And then, you know, you got the video games you can kill the time with, and I'm not trying to do that anymore, man. Like, I uninstalled my Black Ops, Call of Duty, or Cold War. I still play GTA here and there, but not as often. But yeah, man, I really want to focus on building my, I don't know if I should say my career or my brand or whatever. I don't know what I should call it. But I really want to focus on just, oh my God, it's a fly in the camera. What is he doing? Okay, I'll leave him there, he's scaring me. Okay, anyways, I really want to focus on building my career. And I think doing what I'm doing right now is pretty good. I should say that I obviously really appreciate any of you guys who listen and watch these videos. There were a couple of you guys at the, well, actually, there was one group, man and a woman, shout out to you guys, who actually said that they love these forest trail walks. And I'm like, wow, really? Like, these are the things that, like, I like to do personally, but I know people mostly don't like. Because it's, you know, there's no editing, it's just me talking to the camera. I tend to ramble on too, so I really appreciate that, man. And I find doing these things important because at the end of the day, I do make reviews, walkthroughs, explainers, and all that stuff. But it's like I like my personality to show off sometimes, man. You know, at the end of the day, we are who we are because of how we act, of how we portray ourselves. And I'd like to think that people, when they see me in public, they can expect the person you see on camera to meet you. Like, the person you see on camera is the same person you'll meet in public. I do not act any differently. Unless you're walking up to me in the middle of the street in the Bronx and you're looking at me funny before you say hi to me. Then I'm gonna act a little different for a second, because, you know, you gotta be on your toes. Okay? But no, yeah, dude, I think it's crazy where I'm at currently. I don't want to say like I'm this big success all of a sudden, because I'm definitely not. I still have a long way to go. I've reached out to a couple people, a couple different creators, a couple companies as well, and I still haven't heard back from them. Or if I have heard back from them, they've kind of deaded me, which is fine, man. You know what I mean? Like, I get that. It's part of the process. And I kind of like, I'll be honest with you, as crazy as it sounds, I kind of like it. I like knowing that I'm not there yet. I like knowing that there are still obstacles for me to overcome. And I'm perfectly fine with it, bro. Like, to me, I realized a long time ago that life is a journey. There is no destination. There is no final point. You know, you just kind of have to accept that. Like, although we have goals in this life, like, I definitely have goals. My goals are very abstract. Like, I just want to be happy, have enough money to live without worrying about paying for stuff, like, you know, day-to-day stuff like food and all that other stuff. Live in a nice place, and that's it. You know, well, I say that's it, but traveling would also be nice as well. You know what I mean? So although my goals are definitely more abstract, but it's funny, and this kind of brings everything back around. It was back in 2017 when I realized that, like, crypto is, well, this is why I think this is why I really, really appreciate crypto to this day. Apart from the permissionless decentralization, Web3 nature of all this stuff, it's the fact that, can I turn around? It's the fact that I remember, like, I turned about 2 to 3K into like 140 grand or some shit. And I was in college, and that was through like the coin Verge, XVG. You guys know that I kind of like that coin a little bit. I haven't made a video about it in a while because I haven't, you know, just a regular coin, but, you know, still. But the point is that coin made me realize, you know, by making all those paper gains, because I never took it out, you should know that right now, that, like, I felt rich for once. And I remember, like, when I saw that balance, and I kind of thought about it to myself, I'm like, yo, like, I don't feel any, you know, although I felt rich, like, I saw that I was rich, to me, I didn't feel anything, is what I should say. You know, like, I didn't feel any happier, I didn't feel any accomplishment, I didn't feel any of that stuff. It was almost kind of like a dead feeling inside, to be honest with you. And that's when I realized, bro, it's not about the money, you know? Money is a tool. We need money to live in this society, to be able to buy things that we need for ourselves, our families, to eat. But it's not, is a means to an end make sense? Is that the word I'm looking for? You know, it's not something that should be like your end all, I guess. You know? Like, my goal is not to make $1 million. Not at all, bro. Like, money comes and goes. You're gonna use your money, hopefully, you know, and you know it's gonna fluctuate quite a bit. And that's the problem with money, man. Like, if you keep your emotions just based off money, then your emotions will also fluctuate quite a bit with your money, right? Especially if you have it in crypto. And that's what crypto showed me, man, that true wealth isn't in money. True wealth is in your mental health, I would think, you know? And that's why I do walks like these. That's why I make videos like these, because this shit truly is like therapeutic, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, there are people who need therapy out there, who need people to help them with all that stuff. You guys are essentially my free therapist, so thank you. You can leave the bill in the comments. You know? And, you know, I can't be grateful enough for the position that I'm in today right now. Obviously, you know, I'm not going to say, you know, like, I'm not going to say I didn't deserve it. To me, I deserve anything that's coming to me, whether it's good or bad. But it's been a while, man. It's been a year. I can't believe it's been a whole year. And I'm farther than I thought it would ever be, to be honest with you. I didn't think that I'd be at the point that I'm at today. And to put it in perspective, technically, I'm making more money than I was when I left my job about 7 months ago, technically. If you don't include the taxes, assuming I can write this stuff off, then technically I'm making more money than I was 6 months ago, 7 months ago, and I'm doing what I actually like. And that to me is golden. I can't thank you guys watching this enough, because obviously this is all a product of my efforts and work, but it's also just the fact that you guys choose to watch it, man, at the end of the day. And I definitely want to keep that attitude for sure, man. Like, I always want to be the dude that's reachable, whether it's like, you know, you want to talk to me in person, whether you want to shoot me a DM in the comments. And mind you, if you're going to shoot me a DM talking about, you know, like if you're going to be like shilling me something, I may not respond to that. You know, if you're looking kind of sketchy, I'm not going to respond to it probably. But for the most part, I'm pretty reachable, bro. I'm very reachable. I hope to stay that way. And I do hope that as time goes on, and I do hope to inevitably grow my brand, personality, whatever you want to call it, I hope that along with a monetary increase, I'll be able to either keep the current freedom I have in terms of time or reduce it. So I'll have more time to just do whatever I want. And, you know, to me that's really important, because like your time is the most valuable asset at the end of the day in this world. You can't get time back. It's the one thing that isn't sold or really bought. Well, technically it is with salaries. But so people go with it? It's not. Okay, good. But technically, you know, I think people take that for granted sometimes, bro. Like, high key. There are people over there, so I'm at to see you guys later. But nonetheless, I appreciate you guys for tuning in, and stay with me, bro. All right, let me know down in the comments below if you ended up staying to the end of this shit. If you did, then, Mr. Man, you're a real one, all right? Make sure you come to that Crypto Heads meetup, by the way. We have one on August 1st. Over 85 people signed up already, and I think it might be it's the second one, but it's definitely going to be the biggest one to date. So, yeah, with that being said, thank you guys for everything, and I'll catch you in the next one, all right? Peace.